Well, hey guys, what is up? What's going on out there today? Yes, Brent Abel here, webtennis.com. Another episode of What's the Right Shot, number 524. Look, we've got some overhead choices here, and I'm going to kind of just arrow them out here for you and kind of get your noggin thinking about what's a possibility from this overhead. One of the things I'm going to point out to you is that when you play an overhead, depending on where you are in the court, you've got to make sure that if it comes back, that it's going to set you guys up for at least equally the same type of overhead, if not something a whole lot easier. Super important. Here comes this episode of What's the Right Shot. Well, hey guys, before we get started with today's episode of What's the Right Shot, I want to give you a heads up. Look, I've updated my course on serve and volley in doubles. And I've got an explainer video right down below. There's a link that you can click and go check out what is in this course. There's a masterclass plus 6 bonuses. I've also got a really special price for you, an offer that is good until this Sunday night, November 24th at 11 p.m. Pacific. So if you're still struggling a little bit with any of the aspects of serve and volley doubles, whether it's the serve part, whether it's the transitional shot part, or maybe it's that next shot, that third shot, I want you to check out what I've got for you. That link is right down below. Click it and you'll be right over there to the explainer video. All right, guys, let's get into this episode of What's the Right Shot. Paul Wolf with the serve. Yours truly, his partner in this doubles exhibition he played a few years ago. And so here comes this lob coming up right here. And here it is. And look, in the intro, I showed you 5 different shots, right? We've got one over to this alley. We've got one over to the feet. We've got one that sort of bisects the two players. You know, down the middle, literally down the middle, doesn't bisect the two players. So when you're setting up for that overhead or the volley or whatever it is, and you're deciding to play it, quote unquote, down the middle, it's not geometrically, literally down the middle. It's really, are you bisecting these two guys, right? And then the other 2 shots were the feet over here or this one out wide. This one's not easy, but if you're Paul Wolf, you've actually got this little inside out, oh boy, this inside out angle that you can create. Now, what was the message I said earlier in the intro, which is if it comes back, where do you want it to come back from? And if Lenny's anticipating this because he's played so much doubles with Paul that he knows that's a possibility and he guesses over there before Paul plays it, now if it comes back from this part of the court, it's coming back into our overheads. If it's short into my side, fine. It's naturally coming into my overhead, right? And it's deep, it's naturally coming into Paul's. If he plays this overhead, here we go. If he plays this overhead to this side of the court, right? Okay. If it's a winner, great. But if it comes back, it's coming back actually towards our backhands. And so I want you to be thinking about that. When you play your overhead, if it comes back, right, will it enable you guys to be able to have another easy overhead? Because it's coming back at an angle that's going right into your natural overhead. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to play this point in real time, and I want you to be thinking about that. First volley. First volley. Look, there's not a lot of technique going on here. Basically, just putting the racket face behind where you're eventually going to make contact, letting the ball get into your string bed. You don't need a big high to low hack just to get some underspin. You can actually, continental grip naturally opens up the racket face, and then just receive it and finish, and thank you very much. This is one nasty first volley, and you're going to be able to see where it lands here. There it is right there. It's peeking through by Lenny's left knee and his left elbow. That's a pretty tough first volley. And I think Lenny does everything he possibly can with this, just throwing it up there, and gets it deep enough. It's a good lob, right? There's not a lot of offensive opportunities. Paul plays it here. All right, back up the line, sort of. Now look, we talked about bisecting these two players, right? So if you play this literally down the middle, it's naturally going to play right into Lenny's backhand. But you play between the two of them, there's a little discussion here who's going to take it. You know, Lenny must have communicated early it's his, right? Drives that backhand. And here's truly trying to do a little something fancy here with this carve backhand volley. Maybe not the greatest shot choice, but that's what was in my head at that moment. And here it is. Here it is. Yeah, that's top shelf overhead stuff right there. So, guys, want to hear what's on your mind today? One thing about this overhead from Paul is he is instant with the communication. You're going to hear it right here. Here we go. There he is. There it is. So, guys, want to hear what's going on? Today's episode, what's the right shot? Right down below. Let me know in the comments area. Comments, questions, feedback, remarks. Love to read your stuff and respond to it. If you love today's video, please be sure to click the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Always getting updated with any new content and or when I go live. Guys, time for us to get out there today. Start making first volleys like this right here. And I'll definitely see you again next time in the next episode of What's the Right Shot. That'll be number 525. Look for that tomorrow. And yeah, I'm just spouting off here until we get through this long point. Boom. All right, guys. See you again next time.